Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Well, I got to tell you, last night was a classic example of why I struggle so mightily to be a basketball guy.
I was there, and then I left after the third quarter. But the first half was great.
Yeah.
It was intense, and the Wolvies, even though they're an inferior team, were battling their arse off. And all of a sudden, they're 27 behind. It was unbelievable how quick they hit them in the mouth. I think that the three-pointer has become too big a part of the game. I think they ought to move it back a foot. They got to do something. This is not the way basketball was intended to be played. Mm-hmm. To just have a guys throwing the ball up from all over and there's no other skills involved, moving the ball around. I have never liked the three-point game. I like the old grittier game with the pull-up jump shot and stuff like that. But the public likes the three. You know, the public treats every three-pointer like it's a home run. Mm-hmm. Even though there's 40 a game. You don't hit 40 home runs a game.
Does anybody even do a hook shot anymore?
No, not really. No, little maybe one-handed thing once in a while.
Remember Jabbar with those things?
Oh, yeah.
They were.
But
remember how consistent he was.
But the game is now it's take it inside, throw it outside. Or with that team, you know, they usually have 4 3-point shooters on the floor, and I'm not knocking them. Harden is fantastic. He'd be fantastic in any era, but it just, to me, it just is not my idea of basketball.
I was so intrigued by Harden, I looked him up. Arizona State.
Yes.
He went to high school in California.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the 7th richest contract in the world of sports.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include the shoe money he's making.
And he doesn't appear to have any tattoos.
Did he not? You know who he did date for a while? Khloe Kardashian.
Oh, no. That
and he got it, but
me.
he got himself out of it.
Good.
He saw that.
Before he could get sucked in.
Yes, well, he did. He was in it for about, he finally figured out she wanted him on the reality show, and he bailed.
Good for him.
And I think it was in 2016. That's how I read a good piece on him in the summer of 2016. He said, "The hell with this."
I thought you got that from your wife.
No, what happened to him was that he showed up once just in Europe, and she wasn't even with him. And there was paparazzi all over the place because not because he was James Harden, the basketball player, because he was Chloe's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And he bailed and said, that's enough of that. And he says, it's all about hoops for me now. So
good for him.
Good for him. He seems like a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
And certainly he's got he keeps the beard nice.
It's a nice beard.
Nice beard.
Who's the musician I said earlier, Rook?
Richie Valens.
No, Richie
Havens.
Haven. He looks like Richie Havens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he does.
We're going to win, twins.
Yeah. But he's kind of like the crowd last night was chanting Harden socks.
Which
and
I think is ridiculous.
Cheering at him. It's like when they
he doesn't.
It's like when they used to boo Jeter.
Yeah.
Jeter didn't do anything except be good.
He's good.
Yeah, and Harden's the same way. But it's, I'll tell you what I didn't miss about the Timberwolves being in the playoffs is the nonsense before the game starts. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. It's just ridiculous. And then we get some guy that sings the anthem that takes 6.5 minutes. Come on, get it over with. We hear these 5,000 times a year. We don't need you to make a 7-minute anthem out of it, pal.
See, I missed
whatever
all
the
that.
hell your name is.
I was watching Toronto hosting Boston and forcing a Game 7. Then I had to click over to the Twins and watch them get humiliated.
That was worse.
And then I thought, wow, this is a great first half of this Timberwolves game. And then I turned back after the half and I went, wait a minute.
What happened
What
here?
just happened here?
You know, when the great Bob Davis went to his first Timberwolves game, and some gal took him to the game, I think it was a one-day shot. She wasn't too impressed. But anyway, that was the night that Phoenix got 140 against 128 against them or something. And next day, Davis said, I thought the scoreboard was broke. I didn't know what was going on. That's what it seemed like. That's the second highest point total in a quarter in NBA playoff history, 50. But the last time it happened, it was 51 in the fourth quarter of a game by the Lakers when they were losing by 100.
1962.
Yes, and now that was without a three-pointer. Obviously, they didn't have a three-pointer then, but it's also they lost the game, so it just garbage time the whole fourth quarter. Obviously,
well then the Lakers is more impressive. They're doing it
was
with
2-pointer.
51 points without threes.
But the difference is it was a competitive game when they went and got 50.
And the Lakers were out of here by 62. They left in 60.
They were LA. Yes, they left in 60.
Yep.
April of 60.
And that was against Detroit.
Mm-hmm. You know how many teams there were in the NBA when the Lakers left?
8. Yeah.
Now we got 30.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, you know how many teams were in hockey in 1967?
6. I know. Now we got 30. 31.
31.
Vegas. 32 in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Seattle. So. But it was impressive show by that Houston team. Oof.
Well, my whole theory has gone out the window that they were loose and they're ready to win another one. The
other teams,
they're not going to win another one.
The other team's a lot better than them. Yeah. That's they played their arse off, and if Houston, we were always wondering, Houston shoots 43s a night. Mm-hmm. And you're always wondering, okay, they haven't made them the first 3 games. What happens if they make them? Now we know. Mm-hmm. Now we know it ain't good.
Man, he just kept going, shoom, shoom.
Yep.
I told him, my son, I said, I can't even watch this.
What was the sound?
Shoom.
Oh, the shoom?
Right. Oh, I guess it's called the swish, I think.
Now, the old-time basketball people get driven crazy because he does that step back, and he moves his pivot foot about 3 different times,
Right.
The old... Lenny Horizon would have called it traveling.
Coach Horizon would have said, yeah.
The NBA says that's his gathering step. You get to have a gathering step.
Well, you gotta have a gathering step. Mr. Horizon would be like this. Hey, what the hell? That's not a gathering step. That's traveling. Hey, what the hell? The shoulders all. Yeah. And I can do that, Mr. Horizon, because I called you Mr. Coach.
Yes, you did.
Well, not to mention he's no longer here.
Lenny.
Well, that's what scares me even more.
Yeah.
Hey, Lenny.
Oh, see you next year.
What's that for, Mr. Horizon?
Oh, that was
spring.
March 30th or whatever it was. Boom, boom, boom. And I can see the joy in the kid just going, Lenny, because that would have drove Mr. Horizon. You don't ever come back and call me Len. You just call me Mr. Horizon forever.
The state's tallest high school basketball manager was with Len.
With Lenny, yeah. And, on the state championship team, right?
Told great stories about Len. How occasionally Arvesta Kelly
Junior,
would put his arm on Lenny, and because you couldn't touch Lenny.
Yeah.
And then Lenny turn around, see it's Arvesta, and just keep talking.
Yeah, right. I can either really have my old line discipline or win the state championship.
Right, I think I'll go for the title.
Like you two, Mr. Horizon wasn't much of a hugger. You wouldn't on that last day of school, even though he loved me and hey, Polak, how you doing? But Polak, you're wrong. He didn't care, and he even on the last day, it wasn't. It's like my father-in-law. Mr. Horizon would have gone like this. My father-in-law learned to extend his arm to my shoulder and then shake my hand, saying, Ed Sr. was not a big hugger, and he finally learned to put his arm on my shoulder and then shake my hand goodbye.
I love old guys that weren't huggers.
Oh, my gosh.
There was no reason for hugging.
And didn't even hate me. He just I don't want to hug you.
No.
And he just said, I don't want to hug you.
That isn't
You
it.
just, do what I do. You just don't hug.
Right, just don't hug.
sports teams are on a bad run.
They are. I got some really bad news today. Not only did our Wild go out in ignominious fashion, 5-0, and fire their general manager 3 days later. By the way, let me say this about the Wild. We have been told they need a tweak. Then we've also been told that they need to be, they need size, speed, and they need more size, speed, and skill. What else is there? That sounds like more than a tweak.
That's more than a tweak.
Because that's it.
That's a rebuild.
That's size,
Yep.
speed, skill.
Right.
Isn't that it?
What about grit?
Well,
Do we
I
got
don't know.
grit?
If you got
Maybe that
size,
comes
you
with
got
size,
grit.
style, and speed.
Size, speed, and skill. And I'm reading that saying,
Other than that-
okay, what are we missing?
Other than that.
What outside of that, yeah, B. But the Twins, horrible lately. They haven't been able to hit all season. Had a couple of nice rallies, but, everything is looking terrible right now. And, of course, the Timberwolves were humiliated last night. Really the second highest point total ever allowed in the playoffs. But I just saw Soccer America's MLS ratings. We're 23rd in a league of 23.
Really?
Yes,
We
even
can't
our
catch a break.
loons are
Even the loons.
Even our loons are not highly rated.
Wait a minute.
Our
So
loons.
we have power rankings in the MLS?
Soccer America.
We got to have
So,
power rankings.
Yeah, well, Brucey McGuire retweeted him. and
Okay.
23rd out of 23. They fit right in with this town, right?
Did we just cure Buxton's migraines only to have him foul a ball off his foot?
toe. Off the toe.
He couldn't play hockey.
No.
He could not play
Well,
hockey.
yeah, but there's nothing worse than a sore toe.
I get it, but holy mackerel.
What can you do if you're the fastest man in baseball if you got a bad toe?
Yeah.
You can chop her off. That's about it,
that
right?
a sore toe is really nothing to mess with.
What did we ever determine about the migraines? Is that okay? Is he going to make it?
He gets them occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to get them back in the old days, but I think that had more to do with gin.
Yeah, that might have been a hangover and dehydration.
Yes, right.
Less water to your
But,
brain.
I don't know. He's they didn't send him to the Mayo or anything to say, hey, how are you going to control these? So I don't know. Maybe he runs too fast.
You know, Pat, I don't want to accuse this guy of being a new listener, but he did send an email to the Garage Logic page. Steven says, Joe, I was driving when the show started, so forgive me if you've brought this up, but I wanted to share my opinion on the discrepancy of play in games 3 and 4 for the Timberwolves. I submit that the floor spacing for the Rockets wasn't really as good in games 3 as it was in game 4, yet the Wolves seemed to shoot better from the perimeter. What say you?
He sent this to Garage Logic? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you got? Break it down.
I think we pretty well
tips?
go along with that. Thanks.
Thanks
for the contribution.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
As a student of the game.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
What you said.
I'll respond, ditto.
Ditto. We love ditto. Rush has ruined ditto, though.
This is pathetic, though. This record in New York is silly.
Yeah,
It's just silly.
Yeah.
Who pitches tonight?
We can't even blame Guardy anymore.
Barrios has been
No,
fantastic.
he might win. He might right the ship.
Well, if he doesn't give up any,
Yeah.
he might. Now Jason Stark had a stat. Boy, he had some good stuff with Judd Mackey today. But he had a stat that at 23 or younger, 3 games already, giving up less than 3 hits, and going at least 7 innings. It's only happened a couple other times in a season for a Twins pitcher as young as him. And I was surprised Blyleven wasn't one of them. I think it was Cott. And,
It was Cott and Scott Erickson.
Scott Erickson. I wonder why Blyleven didn't do that, because he came up at 19.
And when he was a kid, yeah, he was good.
Did anybody watch any of the baseball game?
Oh, I watched parts of it.
As soon as it was
I
4
was
to
at the-
nothing, you knew it was
I
over.
was
Are
at
those
the-
their regular ESPN baseball guys? Sutcliffe and
That's
No,
the
that's
B
B
team.
team,
Yeah.
oh,
But the play-by-play guy was it Chambi or Schulman? I'm not sure.
I can't recall from last night.
I only heard a little. I was
But
in the
Matt Vasgersian and A-Rod with Jessica Mendoza, Joe, is the new Sunday night crew.
Yes. It's not as good as the old Sunday night crew, but that happens.
Well, tonight we get our boys back, right?
Yes, we do.
Because
but I don't think Bert went to New York.
He did
I might
not.
be wrong. I don't know who we have.
I think long as Bert was down in Tampa, he stayed in Florida.
Yeah, I do. Bert's only doing half of them this year. He's only doing 80 of them. So,
did you see where Pete Rose is making $1 million a year signing autographs? And his wife,
good for him.
His wife is after it because they're still
Which
married.
one?
Carol's first one. They're still married.
No. He's
Pat.
had several.
They never got divorced. It was never final.
Carol isn't the Liberty Bell.
Who's the Liberty Bell?
He was married to a Liberty Bell cheerleader.
This was number one. Wife number one is looking for some money.
But they got
look it up, Reeves.
They got to be divorced. He's had a few.
He's
had a few.
Just telling
He's
you.
had more than one. Maybe she wants it because she.
How many Zubas can you buy for $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
What a bad outfit he had in Cooperstown.
How many bowling alleys you got to sit in?
He's a character, man. I have a hard time not liking him, though, because I was there for 4 days waiting for him to set the hit record. He did 45 minutes before the game, 45 minutes after the game, and never told the same story.
Rose married Carolyn Engelhardt on January 25th, 1964. The couple had 2 children. They divorced in 1980. In 1978, a paternity suit was filed, naming Rose as the father of Morgan Rubio. 96 settlement. Rose married his second wife, Carol J.
Maybe
Wolling.
that's the Carol I'm thinking
In
of.
1984, they have 2 children.
Still married.
They finalized their divorce in 2011.
I don't know who I'm talking
And now
about.
he's with another woman.
Another Carol?
It does not say
Like Johnny
Carol.
Carson. He only married the same
Joanne's. Only married Joanne's, yeah. So one of them's a Liberty Bell, I think. Pete Rose and a Liberty Bell. Look it up, will you?
Liberty Bell. One of the
cheerleader. It's a Eagles cheerleader. It was a Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader.
Rose and Kim have been engaged since 2011. This is the current missus, but they're not married.
Well, she might not want to.
Rose.
She might want to put a chip in Pete's cell phone for if she wants to follow, if she wants to track his movements.
Rose.
Who would hit that? Gross. Isn't he about 5 feet tall and 300 pounds?
Well, he's got a little larger.
Wow, he's 78. I didn't realize
And
he
he's
was
got
that
that donkey's behind face.
Yeah.
Who's going after that?
Well, Kenny's a celebrity.
He could hit.
Oh, he could hit.
He could hit. He was
On the women?
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
What are you talking about here?
Well, he has the most hits in baseball.
Yeah, well, he's still ugly.
Well, I don't disagree. I'm just
plus he used to have the awful haircut too. The
bowl cut.
The Mo Howard.
The Prince Valiant. Thing,
1500.
Yeah.
ESPN
What?
is where we are.
Okay.
Right here in the TCL broadcast
Right.
studios.
What else?
And we'll be back in just a moment. But now,
Where
thanks
are we
to our
going?
great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal, and you have no money left.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Stocks were down sharply today. Long-term government bond yields top 3% for the first time in 4 years. Caterpillar gave a warning saying its first quarter may be the best of the year. Investors got a little spooked by that as well. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down for a 5th day in a row, off 424 points to 24,024. The NASDAQ Composite dropped 121 points, and the S&P 500 lost 35 points. 3M shares fell almost 7% and shaved almost 100 points off the Dow Industrials. 3M reported a first quarter profit in line with expectations, but trimmed its full-year guidance ranges for both profit and revenue, citing softness in its automobile aftermarket, oral care, and consumer electronics businesses. Amazon has partnered with General Motors and Volvo to deliver packages to car trunks in 37 cities as it looks for new delivery methods for customers who may be wary of leaving packages outside or allowing couriers inside their homes. The app-based service lets owners of certain model cars provide delivery agents with keyless access to the trunks of their cars. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
I'm working on a joke. I'm gonna have to get.
I was just wondering what happens if there's a body in the trunk.
Yeah. I'll get back to you with that joke. Thank you. We're going to let you go. Check traffic. This one's sponsored by KFC. Just enough time to tell you westbound 94 off the throttle from Pryor to Zane over to 169. I believe that's due to an earlier traffic stop. They have cleared out of there. This summer, get a crispy... okay, take two. This summer, get a crispy chicken tenders...
Here's John Height.
Thank you, Joe. It's partly cloudy and 64 degrees. Timberwolves now head to Houston for Game 5 of their series. Houston beat the Wolves last night to take a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. They will play in Houston on Wednesday
evening. The
evening.
world was a better place when the first round of the NBA and NHL playoffs were 3 out of 5.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Twins will try to get back on the winning track in Yankee Stadium tonight. Yanks winning Game 1
When were they last on a winning track in Yankee Stadium, Johnny?
I meant just for the season, actually, not because they've lost now those 4 in a row.
They've never been on. 19-51 in this century.
Oh, my God. Jose Barrios pitches for the Twins tonight. CC Sabathia goes for the Yankees.
You know what is interesting is they're swinging the bat so horse bleep that he can't give Molitor or Sano or anybody a day off because they
Mauer,
stink.
you mean.
They don't have any Mauer. Yeah.
I didn't bring the lineup in with me, but it is a bit weird tonight. In fact, Eddie Escobar's hitting cleanup. So
is there a lefty pitcher?
CC is pitching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is some weird, wacky baseball.
Decades, I have more Pete Rose news here for you because I heard you guys talking about it. Decades after he was banned from baseball for illegal betting, Pete Rose continues to be a high-stakes gambler with sizable debts to casinos and the IRS, this according to his estranged wife. Carol Rose, this would be the second Carol, I'm assuming.
The Liberty Bell.
Was she a cheerleader?
Yeah, she was a
I told you guys.
They didn't get divorced.
Will you just stop saying Liberty Bell? That's why we're disputing you, because we're sick of you calling her a Liberty Bell.
Well, the Liberty Bell remains married to baseball's all-time hit leader.
That's because Rose would always go, "Hey, Liberty Bell, ding, ding."
Remains married to baseball's all-time hit leader, despite divorce proceedings that started all the way back in 2011.
They never finalized it.
Never finalized them. She claims that the 77-year-old Rose earns more than $1 million annually from his autograph sessions.
I find that hard to believe, by the way.
But he turns them into big losses during gambling sessions at casinos.
That work?
Rose's second wife, who married the former MLB great in 1984, now wants a judge to order Rose to clearly divulge his financial situation so the estranged couple can finally end their marriage, according to documents obtained by TMZ. Rose later in 2011, even though he's still married to Carol, proposed to his fiancée, 38-year-old Kiana Kim,
he's goofy.
a former Playboy model who appeared in a reality television series on TLC called Rose Hits and Misses.
Are you sure it wasn't Rose, hang up the phone? That was the rejected title.
Yes. Rose, hang up.
Oh, my God. That's funny. Okay.
News notes from today. Spring flooding on the Minnesota River means the temporary closing of a trail in Burnsville. A release from Dakota County said the Minnesota River Greenway Trail will close beginning tomorrow from the Minnesota Riverfront Park trailhead at the Interstate 35W bridge.
Does that mean more jackass bikers just driving right in the middle of the road like they own the damn thing?
To the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources.
Get out of the way!
Boat landing under the Cedar Avenue Bridge. Closure will remain in place until floodwaters recede and any needed trail cleanup is complete. West St. Paul Police Department asking for help in finding a 54-year-old man last seen last Friday. The release says Timothy John Rolando is a vulnerable adult with mental health concerns. He was last seen in West St. Paul Friday wearing a black or charcoal gray coat and jeans. Last heard from around 10:30 that night when he was believed to be in the area of the 2900 block of Rice Street in Little, Canada. It's believed he's not taking his prescribed medications. He's described as 6'3", between 160 and 170.
Skinny fella.
Yep, primarily bald. He has no known access to motor vehicles, primarily uses public transportation. If you know anything about his whereabouts, you're asked to call West St. Paul Police or the Dakota County Communications
Does
Center.
he have any money on him?
That I don't know. Your mouth naturally contains
I thought he was talking to Kenny.
about 700 types of bacteria.
So what?
Some good, but
Why do you want to
others.
tell us this?
I'll tell you. Just
Okay.
keep listening.
Okay.
Some of it's good and some's not so good. Here's the problem, though. The mouths of people who routinely have one or more alcoholic beverages each day contain an overabundance of bad bacteria.
Really? I thought alcohol would kill bad bacteria.
Nope. Having too many
I've been
harmful
trying really hard.
having too many harmful mouth bacteria is known to lead to gum disease, heart problems, and even some cancers.
Maybe that's what got Monty, huh?
Yeah, Monty.
Because he had a lot of that bad bacteria then.
Yeah, he did. I think so. I think that could have been.
From
Well,
the
a number of
Lizard
things
Lounge.
could have got Monty.
By contrast, good microbes in our mouths check the growth of harmful germs, ultimately paving the way to better health.
How are you supposed to get the good ones?
Well, you don't drink.
Or you just go top shelf.
I don't drink, so I got a very healthy mouth.
That's
Is that
right.
what
There
you're
you go.
telling me?
Your mouth's doing great.
Okay, I got a. Now that you bring up Monty,
Yep.
what's any new updates on the film?
I have not heard from his nephew to update me as to what's what the next
Do you
move
get
is.
the impression that he might have got bitten by more reptiles than he put on? You know,
yes.
that he always wanted to make them seem like they were our friends.
Right.
So I don't know if he was telling the truth.
Well, the one almost killed him.
Blondie had him all coiled up and ready for to expire. But he said he did admit that he'd have a couple of close calls before on the air, but he didn't tell us any of those.
That big gator man that he
Albert?
sat there and had.
Did you get
photos
the
taken.
email I forwarded you from Dave Arneson? Who took,
Yes, and I looked at that. It wasn't really airworthy, but it was neat to see it.
it was a video of Monty in his building playing with the alligator.
Oh, really?
Metropolitan Airports Commission
They were playing
says
chess.
I don't know why I wasn't
Monty
here.
lost 2 out of 3.
I thought you were going to post it.
You don't want to beat the alligator and have him get mad.
Nope. Right.
Metropolitan Airports Commission says there will be a significant art piece to anchor the central gathering space in the arrivals and departure lobbies at Terminal 1 Lindbergh.
A nude? A large nude.
Ruben nude.
Yeah, big
Rubenesque.
Reuben, big gal.
Jan Lewin
Was
was
a big truck driver up there.
Jan Lewin has been announced to be the artist to create the piece. She's internationally respected. She's from Hawaii, mostly known
What are
for.
we wasting money on this for, John? Let's just get more security gates.
Okay, I didn't approve it. Don't blame me.
Okay.
Oh, it's your fault, John.
Mostly known for her large-scale, technology-driven, interactive public art pieces. She's not from Minnesota, but she has close ties to the state.
We can't find a local artist. We got to go outstate for this.
Lewin says, while Hawaii is far away, I did marry a man from Ham Lake, so I've spent a lot of time here.
Big deal.
Where is the gathering place going to be, Johnny?
All it says is the central gathering place in the arrivals and departure lobbies.
So we must be spending more money there to remodel that, which will screw up traffic even more.
All Coca-Cola needed to rejuvenate Diet Coke was add some flavors. Feisty cherry, twisted mango, ginger lime, and zesty blood orange, and all of them in skinny cans. Diet Coke says they posted sales volume growth in North America during the first quarter, thanks in large part to those 4 new flavors. Coca-Cola said it was the first time Diet Coke's volume had risen in the U.S. and Canada since late 2010.
You going to switch to blood orange Diet Coke, Pat?
How long is that going to last? That's my question.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ken.
It's going to fade
It's like
away.
putting your name on them when they put everybody's name on
The
it.
novelty is going to wear off, and it's they're back down in the toilet.
You know what really could make a guy mad when he was stopping in to get his Diet Coke supply, and somebody was in front of you looking for their name on a bottle. That would get.
that's
I
out.
find
Jerry.
that odd that would
That's
agitate
Tim.
you. Let's go.
And then to make it worse, after they grab their can and go up to the counter, they're asking for a specific scratch-off ticket. No, I want the blue ones, not the green ones. When you're in line right behind them, that drives me
You
crazy.
guys got real problems.
Yes, we do.
Serious.
When it comes to finding a partner, monkeys are not necessarily so picky. They insist a mate comes from the same species.
You'll do.
New genetic
Close
research.
enough.
Hold still.
Hey, you there. Mr. Sheep. Close enough.
Well, no, they don't go to sheep. Hang on.
Check this out, donkey.
Oh, no. New genetic research suggests that primates in Tanzania are so promiscuous they'll happily cross the species divide.
Hell yes.
That's what we're saying.
They'll go to wherever the cigarettes are.
A study shows that red-tailed and blue monkeys living in Gombe National Park regularly get together, despite being entirely separate
Like a
creatures
key party.
with different looks and social structures.
Yeah,
So
but can
males, females, and different species, they're all in. Huh?
but can they bring them home to the parents?
The first time that such cross-divide mating has been proven among the monkeys. It's resulted in a unique hybrid population, according to research published in your favorite magazine, the International Journal of Primatology.
I love that, John. I get that.
Did you see the centerfold last month?
Fantastic.
Oh, my goodness.
The baboon showing it all, baby.
Professor Kate
The red on that ass.
Professor Kate Detweiler said there's a lot of promiscuity taking place. Red tails are mating with blues, blues are mating with red tails, and the hybrids are mating with everyone.
Fred, you
Again.
ready to cross the street and try some strange?
More proof that they are our relatives. No doubt about it.
Down in Ohio, a woman may want to ask some questions if she tries to borrow someone's urine test again to pass a drug test. WTOV-TV says 24-year-old Kiana Wallace was sentenced to 18 months in prison yesterday in eastern Ohio's Belmont County after submitting a borrowed urine sample that tested positive for drugs. Wallace pleaded guilty earlier this month to attempted tampering with evidence.
Did she have a Whizzinator?
See, it was
I know. I was just trying to make a Whizzinator joke, John.
it tested positive.
I know.
See the borrowed sample.
The
Yeah,
wrong
it's not the
person.
way it's supposed to work, is it?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Boy, I thought that was pretty funny. But guess not. Anyway, yeah, she's in jail.
So how did she get caught? Oh, so she got caught because she tested negative, and that's so she had to fess up.
She tested positive because the borrowed sample.
Right, so she had to fess up and say,
the borrowed-
I borrowed this from somebody else, and that's what got her into trouble.
Wait, would you borrow urine or do you loan it?
Do you loan it or
Would it be okay if I went home early?
I would lend it. Let's lend it.
You lend urine.
Lend it.
You don't
I think
borrow
it's
it.
good that she had someone else provide the urine sample and it was positive. That's pretty good.
Anyway,
new story? A man
When you're hanging out with meth heads, it's probably a problem.
A man encountered in unusual underpants was arrested after deputies say he was impaired and had intimate items in his pickup, according to the affidavit. It happened in Florida. St. Lucie County Sheriff's deputies stopped a Dodge pickup driven by 54-year-old Daryl Campbell of Fort Pierce. Deputy reported Campbell's truck traveled in a reckless driving pattern. Campbell's eyes were slightly bloodshot, his pupils dilated, and he looked, according to the report, very jittery. He had on no shoes. In fact, the affidavit said he was wearing only a shirt, underpants that stated breathalyzer on the side and low here near the center of them.
Isn't Florida great?
Asked if he'd performed field sobriety exercises, Campbell just laughed and said he couldn't because he had gout.
you go first.
In Campbell's truck.
What is wrong with people? How come there's so many mentally ill people?
Samer theory. They're going nuts.
What do you mean by intimate items in his truck, John? Can you define that, please?
Several condoms and binoculars.
Oh,
Okay.
What the hell is intimate about binoculars?
no toys,
No toys.
No handcuffs? You didn't get stuck in handcuffs?
Nope.
no
Nothing
ball
like
gag,
that. Nope.
no rubber mask.
He didn't try to light his hearing aid on fire?
Not a paddle.
Nope.
Maybe he was trying to find a gimp.
Maybe.
Could have been.
Joe, this story's for you. I know you like birds. You
I do like
to
birds.
bond with birds.
Yep.
Deaf since childhood, Razali bin Mohammed Habadin has developed a closer bond with the creatures under his care than any keepers at Singapore's Jurong Bird Park, where other staff members refer to him simply as the Bird Whisperer.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Razali lost 80% of his hearing after he became ill as a baby. He started working at the park over 2 decades ago, and he's risen to the position of deputy head avian keeper. He communicates with the birds through grunts, gestures, and body language. Told AFP he recognizes the birds by their behaviors and personalities, saying all of them are my good friends.
Good buddies.
Other staff at the park have dubbed the 48-year-old the Bird Whisperer, after, of course, the Horse Whisperer. He has a way of communicating, says Assistant Curator Angela Lim. Just by a look, he knows whether or not the bird is well. Rosali leads about a dozen staff, and giving them instructions usually involves him making various hand gestures, then reading the lips of his colleagues when they respond. His way with the creatures at the park, which is home to more than 5,000 birds, from parrots to hornbills, was on display as he brought a snack of palm fruits into an enclosure filled with parrots.
The guy's got a kind of a lousy life.
You ever see any parrots down in Florida? Wild ones?
No, haven't seen any.
Never.
Kenny, let me point out something to you. Ask Joe what I said out in the hall. What did I say earlier, Joe?
Tough news day.
Thin soup.
This segment this week, there's been nothing.
Thin soup.
Nothing.
You ever see a squirrel monkey? They got a face like a squirrel. No, a squirrel has a face like a monkey.
Down there. No,
they're down there.
It's a squirrel
You
or a
can get
monkey?
'em. It's a squirrel, but its face is like a monkey.
Got it.
seen a few geckos. That's about it.
Yeah.
Are they as horny as the other ones were that John was mentioning in the last segment?
You ever seen the fat, naked ass of a traffic guy? As he waves it in your pathetic face.
Unfortunately, that one time when I walked in a little early,
Nobody was in here, really.
Can't unsee that. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
It's like a bear in the middle of the woods.
yeah, it really is.
He's saving the good stuff for right now. Here it comes, Kenny. This
Here we
is
go.
the one. This is the
John,
one.
nail it.
Come
Here
on.
we go.
That's the
Here's
one we've been
John.
waiting for.
This is a feel-good story.
Okay, good. We need one of those.
Feel-good stories are your favorites, I know, Kenny. So
Yes.
The Michigan State Police organized a unique way to help a man who was threatening suicide on a highway overpass. They pulled together multiple semi-truck drivers to help shorten the fall.
I do that all the time, John. I've seen it here done numerous times.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I have.
All right. Well, this ended well. He didn't jump. They got him off there. So
that is
let's see
any
here.
funny stuff from the Wyoming Police Department today?
No,
nothing.
I wish
China?
there was.
Nothing.
I wish-
Catch any potheads with their cupcakes on 420 day?
China. I got a China story. Who asked for China?
Hi, Dad. John, trying to help you.
Chinese traffic police in Daozhou, Sichuan province, have been letting people who commit minor moving offenses off the hook if they confess on social media and their post gets 20 or more likes.
Wow, that's right out of the Wyoming Police Department. That's damn near the same thing.
All the way from China. We got that.
So far, 10
You know,
people have-
Szechuan is my favorite form
Is it?
of Chinese food. Yes, it is. Yes.
Can you
It's
tell
got
me
a little bite to it?
Why do we wait till 53 when obviously things are going so wrong? Why don't we go right now? 51,
You can go.
51:30 right now.
You
a
never,
good time.
Kenny, you never know. Patrick might be right. I might be saving the best for last.
Do we do this
You're
time?
You're not done yet, are you,
This,
John?
this
No, I got
timing
plenty.
thing has to do with you and your bloody stoplight, doesn't it?
No, it has nothing to do
No,
with
Well,
that.
then let's break
he
right now.
likes to run her
let's
up the
break.
top.
Let's face it. It's been a piece of crap since 48.
What's
just
John
go.
got? What is this go? John, one more chance to
Now
redeem
we're
yourself.
coming up
One
on
more,
52.
huh?
So now
see.
you're asking for another story at 52 when we don't have time for an extra
No, we
story.
do. We do. We'll see what he's got.
Police say a warning of a nuclear threat that was broadcast in a downtown Winnipeg neighborhood was a prank.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's a good start, Kenny, huh?
Nuclear Holocaust stories. I like those.
It's 52:50.
The audio recording blasted through Osborne Village about 9:20 Sunday evening warned a nuclear attack was occurring against Canada and the
I like
United
those
States.
stories.
Winnipeg. They wouldn't attack Winnipeg.
It said
I got out just in time.
Yeah.
It said 6 missiles were expected to strike in the next 15 to 25 minutes.
Did they panic?
4 people apparently called the police. That's all they got out of it. Nobody
The
panicked.
rest thought that maybe we wouldn't, as much as we dislike Canada, we probably wouldn't send our missiles.
Like I said, should have gone at 48.